Hey everybody, what's going on? The fog's coming in here. It's a rainy night, and as you can see by the weather box, we're gonna have some flooding tonight. So I'm really not going anywhere, and I haven't been feeling good. I've been sick for like a week, and I'm off work. So I want to talk about some of the preps. They're not that important, but when it comes to me, it is kind of important. Along with food preps and household preps and all those preps, one of the things I like to do is every paycheck I like to put away a bottle of whiskey. Put it in the closet, and you know, if things go south, one of the things that a lot of people don't think about is you're not going to be able to get no booze, as you saw in Hurricane Katrina. The second place that was robbed the most was the liquor store, and Walmart. I think Walmart, Target, and the liquor store was the three most popular places to go loot. And just think about it: being involved in a natural disaster and not having no booze. Oh my God, that's blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. I want to talk about a straight Kentucky bourbon, a sour mash bourbon, and this is Old Crow. A lot of you younger guys have never heard of Old Crow. Old Crow was the very first sour mash whiskey ever produced. It was the pioneer and the inventor of sour mash. The sour mash process was a guy named Jonathan Crow, or James Crow. Sorry, got that wrong. But you know, I've been drinking this for years, and if you were to say, what is your absolute favorite whiskey at any price, I only have maybe three, and I'm not a big whiskey drinker. I mostly drink wine and I drink beer. My absolute favorite, number one, is Old Crow. Number two is Maker's Mark. And number three is Jack Daniels, for different reasons. I think Jack Daniels I enjoy more as a sipping whiskey, straight, while Old Crow, I'll drink it straight or I'll mix it with something. And not Coca-Cola, I like to mix it with ginger ale. A lot of people like to mix ginger ale with Crown Royal. That's I think that's more, well, that's Canadian whiskey, but it's more of a southern thing than it is in the north. A lot of people, they don't drink Crown Royal as much as they do Jack Daniels here. But Old Crow is, let me read you the story in the back. Read you what it says in the label. It says, Old Crow, since 1835, the original sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Old Crow, the original sour mash since 1835, when Dr. James Crow invented the sour mash process. In 1835, he revolutionized Kentucky bourbon making, period. Old Crow soon became the world's best-selling bourbon. How do you go from the best-selling bourbon to, just being white noise? Because you know what? They don't do any advertising. Jack Daniels does a fine job of marketing and advertising, and like I say with a lot of beer reviews, a lot of the character in beer comes from the water, and I think in Jack Daniels' case, a lot of the character comes from their natural cave spring water and their quality ingredients and the aging process and the coal filtering process. That's Jack Daniels' thing, is the coal-fired, burned charcoal filtering, or charcoal mellowing is what they call it. Well, I didn't finish reading here. It was the number one bourbon in the world, and it says often imitated but never duplicated. Jack Daniels and Old Crow, they're two different animals. Jack Daniels is a very smoky, mellow, caramely tasting sour mash, while Old Crow it has a little bit more of a citrus taste to it, and you can taste a little more of the sour. I guess that's the same thing, but this is my favorite. This is the one I love the most. And like I said, I try and put a bottle away every paycheck. And, it piles up, and or I'll give them away as gifts, or, I'll drink them. And I do drink this one. But like I said, I don't drink that much whiskey, so it's not like I drink a gallon of it a week or something. And it's not $3 whiskey. It's not cheap whiskey, but it's really not expensive whiskey. This bottle is a liter of Old Crow. Now, a liter of Jack Daniels by me in the discount store it comes to like $28. This is $14. On sale, a lot of times you get it for $12. And that's why I put it away. It's affordable. I know it's a good quality brand, and it's the first. It's the original. So I wanted to share that with you. And a lot of people get caught up in the boutique brands. The same as with the microbrewed beers. You get caught up with, this one has rosebud petals in it, and this one has tomato leaves. There'll always be something different. This one has jalapeno essence. There's always going to be some clever marketing scheme or something new to throw in there to make you want to buy it. Like, you'll get chicks if you drink this beer. Well, we all know that's not true. That was Miller High Life's one of their original ads is, you drink this beer and hot chicks are going to fall all over you. That's completely a fallacy. I know that to be true. But I want to share it with you and show you. This is my favorite beverage when I'm drinking whiskey. And tonight, like I said, I'll be hanging around the house. I'm not driving anywhere, and all the guns are away, and I'm just hanging out, cleaning up the house, and mellowing out. And I'm gonna have a little bit of Old Crow and ginger ale. So I'll show you the measurements. I have a 2.5 shot glass, 0.5 ounces. So I'll measure that up. And this is a shot glass from the original Cheers in Boston. I didn't go there. I was dating this girl, and she went there and stole the shot glass. The shot glass has lasted with me longer than she did. All right. Right in there. And when it comes to soda, I'm not a big soda fan, but I do like ginger ale. It's Canada Dry. Regular, not the sugar-free shit. No ice. Right to the top in a whiskey glass. So I'll give you my impressions of this, and I've been drinking this since I've been, I want to say 18, and my grandfather drank this, and his father drank this. It was always around. This was in our eggnog at Christmas. I even think they were telling me they were putting it in my my bottle when I was a little kid. That explains a lot. All right, let's give it a shot. I think it has more character than rum. It's aged in charred oaked barrels for 3 years. So that's not like they aged it for 6 months like some of that cheap scotch that you get for $9. It's actually a quality liquor. And the barrels aren't like used over and over. Well, they are used over and over again, but they're not like the Jack Daniels where they get more and more character from the barrels. I think with Jack Daniels, the aging process, the water, the ingredients, the charcoal mellowing and filtering makes Jack Daniels purely Jack Daniels, if that makes any sense. You can, if you line these alcohols up, if you took Jim Beam, Old Crow, Jack Daniels, and I won't put Gentleman Jack in there and all those things because to me personally they all taste all the same. I just think Black Label Old Number 7 Jack Daniels tastes the way Jack Daniels should taste. And the Green Label, it's okay. If you were blindfolded and you had a sip of whiskey and it was Jack Daniels Black Label Old Number 7 Kentucky Straight Sour Mash whiskey, you're drinking Jack. You'd know it right away. It's not Heaven Hill or any of that crap. And Old Crow's the same. Old Crow is a lighter, more citrus flavored sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon. Knob Creek is awesome too, and Maker's Mark. Drinking straight, Maker's Mark is way up there too. But this is my personal favorite. This is what I like, and I cook steaks with it. I use it for marinades. I use it to make mixed drinks, and I drink it straight also. So I figure I'd share that with you. It's not the most exciting video in the world. A guy sitting around drinking some Old Crow, but Old Crow is, go ahead and try it. It's not in a cheesy plastic bottle, and it's not garbage liquor. Like, you're not going to see like bums in the corner sucking on Old Crow. I remember my great aunt, man, she was like almost 100 and something years old. She always had a bottle of Old Crow. You remember Victrola, the record player or phonograph, you'd call it? You'd crank it up. And back then they were more like pieces of furniture. This thing weighed like 400 pounds. And it was a big stand-up piece of furniture. And you'd open up the front of it. It was like a cabinet. And all your record albums would go inside. Back then they didn't have like the sleeve over the top. They only had a paper sleeve. In some cases they had a felt sleeve on it. So all of their record albums were in there. And the needles for the phonograph, they were like nails. They were literally as thick as nails. And you could only play the record so many times before it would destroy the record. So she didn't have any records left from playing the records. All she had in this cabinet was, you'd lift the top up, and there was one record on top of the Victrola, and on the inside she had a bottle and a shot glass of Old Crow. And every single day she would have a shot of Old Crow in the afternoon and a shot of Old Crow before she went to bed. And like I said, man, she lived like 103 years old. And she knew it was good. My grandfather knew it was good. My father knew it was good. His father knew it was good. And now I'm telling you it's good. So if you get a chance, if anything, this conversation piece, look at the crow on there. Old Crow Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Later, guys.